the news of Lady Gaga's dog walker who was shot following after he was walking her dogs on Wednesday night. He is now in the hospital, but here's everything else we know. The LAPD tells ET that the shooting took place on Wednesday night at around 9:40 p.m. on Sierra Bonita Avenue in West Hollywood, California, and the shooter was seen fleeing the scene in a white sedan. The weapon used was a semi-automatic handgun and has not been recovered. They also note the victim was in critical condition when transported. The victim is Ryan Fisher, who is Gaga's dog walker and friend. He had been seen and watching the singer's dogs while she's been in Italy filming the movie Gucci. A source tells ET that Fisher is currently in the hospital and recovering. There is Gaga right there in Italy just yesterday. Again, there she is filming the movie Gucci. But a source tells ET that two of the singer's three French bulldogs, Gustave and Kogi, were stolen, while the third, Asia, managed to escape and was later recovered by the police.
Meanwhile, as for Gaga, who we mentioned is currently abroad in Italy right now shooting her movie, she is beside herself about this situation, and that is a source telling ET. The source also adds that Ryan is not only Gaga's dog walker, but her friend. She's horrified that this happened. Her dogs are her babies, and she is completely devastated and sickened by this. The source also goes on to say she feels somewhat helpless because she is so far away in Italy, but is doing everything she can and praying for Ryan, Koji, and Gustav. Now, ET's Lauren Zima spoke exclusively with a friend of Ryan's, Dr. Fred Pescatori, who says he believes Ryan was likely trying to protect the dogs during the incident. Take a listen.
Well, and I would imagine if he's been walking these dogs for even longer than 4 years, he must be incredibly close with them.
Incredibly close to them. Incredibly. I mean, would do anything for them. I mean, it's heartbreaking. And I know he must have been absolutely looking, like trying to protect them. I know it. I know that's what he was doing.
Get this, Dr. Pescatori added that Ryan was his dog walker for 7 years in New York City. The same time he was also walking Gaga's dogs. So he says that his dogs and Gaga's dogs are actually friends.
Denny, he also mentioned too that he believes the dogs were targeted not only because they are French bulldogs, but also because, of course, they are Lady Gaga's dogs. They are the dogs of a huge, massive international superstar. And what's really frightening to hear is Dr. Pescatori say that he believes that the dog nappers likely had been watching Ryan to get an idea of his patterns, where he walks the dogs, the locations, his timing, and all of that, which is absolutely so frightening. I know we send our love to Ryan and to Lady Gaga. It's, we know how close these dogs are to her. She obviously, she doesn't have children because these dogs are her children, and we've seen the love that she has for them, especially on social media. I mean, some of the dogs are Instagram famous, you know what I mean? And it's just so sad to know that this has happened to them, and for Gaga to be so far away and feel, like our source mentioned, helpless in this situation.
And like you mentioned, I feel like hardcore fans of Gaga, all those monsters, they know these dogs. They probably love these dogs just as much as they love their favorite artist, Lady Gaga. We've seen the dogs by her side at her Super Bowl rehearsals when she headlined back in 2017. And so as you can imagine, Gaga's doing everything she can to get those dogs back. And in fact, a source tells ET that Gaga is offering $500,000, a $500,000 reward for the return of her dogs, no questions asked. Now, we have seen over time that French bulldogs are among the most stolen dog breeds because they are so popular. And ET did speak to Melissa Basseler, owner of Wagmore Pets, a pet hotel and rescue in LA, and she says that the price point for a French bulldog from a bad breeder is at the low end of $2,000 to $3,500 and more than $20,000 for a reputable breeder. So she goes on to say that this reward money offered by Gaga can help reunite the dogs, and the people who stole want the money, and people will be on high alert if they come into possession of these dogs.
Again, such an unfortunate situation. We are sending our best for a speedy recovery to Ryan, and hopefully those dogs are able to reunite safely with Lady Gaga soon.